Hey guys, welcome back to ADP Reviews and the Harry Potter Review Marathon. Today, we're looking at Year 2 at Hogwarts, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, directed by Chris Columbus. While doing my research on this film, I found something odd. A lot of people say that Chamber of Secrets is one of the worst Harry Potter films. Really? I mean, I loved this one growing up. I remember watching it all the time. For the longest time, this was my favorite Harry Potter movie. So what am I missing here? Let's look at the story. Harry Potter is stuck with the Dursleys again as the summer comes to an end. He's upset that he hasn't received any letters from any of his friends from Hogwarts all summer. While sulking in his room, a small creature appears on his bed. This creature is Dobby the House Elf, who tells Harry that he can't return to Hogwarts as there is a plot to make terrible things happen. Harry tells him that he has to go back as Hogwarts is where he feels at home. Dobby causes a disturbance downstairs at the Dursleys' dinner party, and Harry is blamed as his uncle keeps him locked in his room and puts bars on his window. Later that night, however, Harry is surprised to see his friend Ron and his brothers Fred and George fly up to his window in an enchanted car. They break Harry out after a brief struggle and make their way to the Weasleys' home. After a bit of a mishap in transportation,
Diagonally.
They make their way to Diagon Alley, where they meet a full-of-himself celebrity wizard named Gilderoy Lockhart, who will be taking up the position of Defense Against the Dark Arts at Hogwarts, and Lucius Malfoy, the father of Harry's rival Draco. After this tense meeting, Harry and the Weasleys make their way to King's Cross Station. Harry and Ron attempt to run through the magic barrier to the Hogwarts Express, only to find out that the barrier has sealed them off. Seeing no other option, Harry and Ron take the flying car to the skies and attempt to fly to Hogwarts. Upon reaching Hogwarts, however, their car crashes into a magic tree that attempts to kill them. Though they escape with their lives, they receive detention. After detention with Lockhart, Harry begins hearing voices from somewhere in the castle. He follows them with Ron and Hermione, only to find Mrs. Norris, the cat of caretaker Argus Filch, petrified and hanging by its tail. Not only this, but a message has been written on the wall in blood. A message stating that the Chamber of Secrets has been opened and that the enemies of the heir should beware. As strange things start to happen around Hogwarts, Harry, Ron, and Hermione set out to uncover the truth. Who is the heir, and what is the Chamber of Secrets? Like I said earlier, I don't really get why this one gets the disdain it does, but I'll try to dissect it a bit. What do I like about this movie? First, I enjoy the darker tone. While it may have introduced us to the world of Harry Potter, The Sorcerer's Stone is definitely lighter in tone than this film. I think the best way I could describe it is it feels kind of like a Halloween-themed movie. The color palette is rich in shades of blue, purple, and orange, the story is fairly light, and the spooky moments are mostly pretty safe. The Chamber of Secrets, on the other hand, takes all the elements from the first film and raises the stakes. It's not only Harry who's in danger, but all of Hogwarts. No one is safe, not even the ghosts. The color palette is also much darker in many scenes as well, with more dark reds, greens, grays, and blues. Second, I think that the child stars improved a fair bit in their acting. I said that in the first film they were still finding their footing, and while it's still not peak acting, it's much more believable here. Third, the effects in this film still really hold up. Sure, there's a weak effect here and there, but the majority of the effects really hold up. In the first one, I never really believed that the troll or Fluffy the three-headed dog were there. But in this film, the creatures, especially the basilisk, all look realistic. The basilisk, man, does this thing still look convincing. They used both practical effects and CGI to bring this creature to life, and honestly, both still look incredible. No joke, the CGI basilisk is more convincing to me than half the Hollywood effects nowadays. But my favorite thing about this movie is Kenneth Branagh as Gilderoy Lockhart. I freaking love this guy. My roommate absolutely hates him, but honestly, this guy is one of my favorite characters in the movie. This guy was adapted from the book to screen pretty spectacularly. Lockhart is delightfully boastful, hilariously overconfident, and completely full of himself. I don't know why, but I have a real soft spot for characters so high on their own fumes. And Branagh, an extremely talented Shakespearean-trained actor, pulls it off perfectly. So what seems to be people's problem with this film? Well, when I really looked at the movie, there are a few things. First, there are some questionable story decisions. For example, there's a scene at the end where Lucius Malfoy loses his servant Dobby thanks to Harry Potter. He pulls his wand out and begins to speak a certain incantation you might know if you're a fan of the series. Bruh, were you just about to try and kill Harry Potter right in front of Dumbledore's office?
What an idiot.
Second, while I love Lockhart, it is kind of unbelievable that Dumbledore, the wisest and most trustworthy wizard of all time, would hire someone as clearly unqualified and frankly idiotic as Lockhart. I also think it's kind of ridiculous that Ron, whose wand is broken and clearly unable to perform magic, is forced to keep using it and suffer declining grades as a result. Seriously, does Hogwarts not have any spare wands or backup wands? We see later that wizards can still use the wands of other wizards, so Ron should be able to use a functional wand even if it doesn't belong to him. But I'd say my biggest problem with this film is that the movie is almost 3 hours long. At 2 hours and 54 minutes, this film is actually the longest film in the series, which is crazy because the book was one of the shortest in the series. But a long runtime is fine if the story keeps you invested, and when it does, it's fine. But there's points in this movie where the film really drags and you start to feel the minutes creeping by, especially when they're trying to figure out how to brew the Polyjuice potion, how to find the Chamber of Secrets. A lot of these scenes just go creeping by like snails. So, what are my final thoughts? While certainly no masterpiece, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is a darker but still charming sequel with a great mystery and some great acting. I give Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets 3.5 stars out of 5. If you've got 3 hours to spare, this isn't a bad choice. Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to like this video, subscribe, leave a comment, and share this review on social media. We'll see you next time as the Harry Potter review marathon continues here on ADP Reviews. And no, I am not sick of that accent yet.